I had a depressive episode after having my second child. Things were getting worse and worse. Being raised by a single parent had an effect on my youth. After giving birth, I felt selfish and didn't believe I could make him happy. I was scared that this dangerous world would make it impossible for me to protect him. It got old for me to be hungry and enjoy food. For my own health's sake, I stopped being hungry and lost interest in food. This made me feel bad. I felt lost and alone because of my depression. I wanted to move on with my life and give my kids a good place to live. Strange things began to happen 6 months after giving birth. Several shadowy forms could be seen. They hated me and wanted to hurt me. They might have been bad energy because at night, they would change into different people and scare me. I couldn't sleep for a few nights because I was scared. These shadows were making us feel bad, and we had no idea where they came from or why. I felt lost and confused when I was with them. I was weak and tired, and I wasn't excited anymore. After putting my son to bed one afternoon, I laid back on my bed to rest. I fell asleep right away because I was so confused. After that, I started to slide after being pushed down by something I couldn't see. I was scared to death when I fell into a dark cave. It was so dark that they must have been lost in a never-ending blackness. I felt suffocated and out of breath inside the cave because it was so dark. Fear held my mind like a magic hand and made me a slave. I thought about where I fit in this place. It felt like I freely chose to be locked up in this dark prison. What I thought was right was wrong. I didn't know how to return to my real life. It looked like there was no way out of the dark cave. I lost my way because everything became cloudy. As many dark shapes moved toward them, a terrible feeling filled the area. It was clear what they looked like, misshapen people with red eyes and black bodies. I asked God to help me. I prayed to get over my fear. I felt safe when I looked at them. These black shadows got weaker over time. I learned what makes me strong. Because they were warm and bright, black shadows were less noticeable. Some dark shapes went away, and a brilliant light came out. It felt like someone grabbed me and pulled me out of that pitch-black cave. I climbed up to the roof of my house and looked around at everyone. I didn't understand why they cared about how I looked. I was happy and at ease now. I felt so much better after being freed from the pain and stress of the past few weeks. In this state, I was ready to leave. I knew that something new was about to happen. I flew away from home by rising over and over. It was like anyone else's life when I stepped into the city sky. It got less crowded and built up as I stood up. I stopped when I got to the clouds. It didn't matter why I did it because I was having fun. I felt free and light in the clouds. It wasn't long before I was in the soft clouds. It felt like the cloud and I were one. As I got higher, I could see the earth. I could see how big Earth's land and oceans were. I was interested in this view. I saw how plants and all other living things rely on each other throughout the life cycle. There is a part of God in every link. I used to be so confused and full of doubt that I would question everything. Here, my problems went away. Everything that lives is different, from plants and animals to insects and trees. I saw how important they were and how they were connected. There was a strong, warm force in front of me. There was an angel. He was full of love and light. When I saw the angel, I was amazed and happy. Angel showed me a different way to get there. I was shocked by what I saw as we sped forward. I saw an endless sky full of stars. These ideas made me feel less like myself. This trip lit a fire in my heart and gave it new life. The ladder to heaven was easy to see. An old man carefully climbed the ladder to heaven with a calm, happy look on his face. He looked like he was at home. There was a very long line at the door to heaven. Everyone was excited and happy. There were people you loved on either side of the road. A lot of tall, beautiful angels were standing around the gates of heaven. As God's representatives, they greet souls like they are guests in heaven. The angel then led me into a room. There was a special energy in this room. The walls gave off a soft glow, and the ceiling was covered with strange symbols and patterns. It looked like a nice place to be. Someone spoke softly and said, "My child, welcome." I knew it was God's voice, even though I couldn't see him. I could only feel that way from him. God told the child, "I love you, and everything will be okay. I will always love you." I could tell he cared because his words were full of love and forgiveness. God has loved and cared for me my whole life. His love wrapped around me like a cloud, making me feel strong and sure of myself. My mind was full of questions. What was wrong with my life? I begged God to help me. I was hoping to hear back. God showed me that the world's complexity, not his anger, was what was making me suffer. He told me not to give up hope and to believe that pain can lead to salvation. He told me he would love and support me no matter what. Scenes were shown to me by God. I saw pictures of things that had hurt me in the past. I felt helpless after seeing my father beat me as a child. I felt terrible after seeing bullying at school. Because of these memories, I felt sad and started to question my worth and purpose in life. God told me to be aware of my surroundings. During these terrible times, an angel was with me. God tells me that this angel is my guardian angel and has never left me. I saw that God's love was greater than my pain. He told me I would see him again and go back to my real home. After that, my pain would go away and I would feel better. God and I talked for a long time. God gave me faith and hope, and he told me what would happen. It turned out that my future wouldn't be as bad as I thought. I imagined having a happy, meaningful life with loving, helpful family members around me. This picture gives me hope that God will help me get through the hard parts of my life and lead me to a better future. He showed me that if I stay brave and trust him, everything will work out because he has already planned it. He made me want to be more good, even more. After I said goodbye to God, an angel took me out of heaven. As we slowly went down, I could feel the weight of the ground and the air. Going back to my physical form, my mind and body started to work together again as my body warmed up. It felt great to be back in a place that was both new and old. I felt my body and heard what was going on around me. The sound of birds singing made me happy and thankful to be alive. I woke up in my cozy bedroom. There were my favorite pictures on the walls, and I felt like I knew them. The light from the window warmed me up. Breathed in deeply. This trip was real and beautiful. It wasn't a dream. If I thought there was a God. If you ask me, I'm thankful for God's help, love, amazing experiences and revelations, and for the advice of the angels. This event helped me understand God's love better. I was filled with hope and courage after meeting him. I felt God's love when I got back to earth. It made me feel better to know that God was quietly encouraging me. This meeting made my faith even stronger. You can't see God, but you can feel him in your heart. Everything was made by God, and he made us his children. He loves us no matter what.